seen a track record lap laid down in qualifying by Will Power. So the question is, what will happen here in the Firestone Fast 6? Tony Kanaan right now is P1 at a minute 11.903. Once again, keep in mind that the start-finish line does not represent the end of the timing and scoring loop for qualifying. It comes just up the other side of turn 13. That way you can complete a lap, get out of the gas, and get to the end. And that's the reason that the timing loop is where it is during the session. So the lap actually starts and ends around the turn 13 area in the carousel here on the west end of the track. TK at a minute 11.903 as we've got 4.5 minutes remaining here in the Firestone Fast 6. Will Elio Castroneves find his way to pole? Will it perhaps be Scott Dixon or drivers that have been accustomed in the past to being on the inside of the front row? Or will it be one of 3 drivers perhaps that we can see on pole for the first time in the ISI IndyCar Series? Mark, we're talking about Mike Conway, talking about James Hinchcliffe, and J.R. Hildebrand. Could one of them wind up on pole here at Barber?
Mike Conway's speed just popped up on the timing and scoring chart. He is at a minute 12.7329. P1, Elio Castroneves, a minute 10.5843. Tony Kanaan, still waiting for Dixon, Hinchcliffe, and Hildebrand to pass that timing and scoring for the first time.
I want to remind you, you'll be able to hear live coverage of Firestone Indy Lights tomorrow here on IndyCar.com. Mark James and his crew will come your way just after 11 o'clock. That is Central Time, so just after noon Eastern Time. We'll be joining you at 1 o'clock Central Time. That's 2 o'clock Eastern Time for live coverage of this great race, the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, race number 2 in the IndyCar Series schedule tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Once again, you'll be able to join us here on IndyCar Radio on the IMS network on XM94 Series 212, IndyCar.com, IndyCar Mobile on Verizon Wireless as well. Hope you're going to be with us. Elio Castroneves has gone to P1 at a minute 10.584. James Hinchcliffe is next, followed by J.R. Hildebrand, Tony Kanaan, Scott Dixon, and Mike Conway. Once again, a minute 10.5843. Mark, right now the differential is about 0.03 of a second between Elio and Hinch.
And Mike Conway has jumped up to P3 now, so it's Elio, Hinchcliffe, Conway, Hildebrand, Kanaan, and Scott Dixon with 2.5 minutes remaining in this session.
Keep your eye on J.R. Hildebrand as he comes off of Charlotte's Web, the 5-6 combination, and keep in mind that his lap will be scored at turn 13, not at the start-finish line. Running behind him is Tony Kanaan right now in turn number 5 in that bright green and fluorescent yellow Geico-sponsored machine. Here is the 14 of Mike Conway as he enters Charlotte's Web. Behind him is the blue and white AAA Insurance Team Penske entry of Elio Castroneves, who won here in 2010. So the Firestone Fast 6 now, 2 minutes remaining for these drivers on track right now. They're all catching up, trying to catch Elio Castroneves. There's your 2-time ISI IndyCar Series champion, red and white Target Chip Ganassi racing machine. That is the 9 car of Scott Dixon making his way up to turn number 6. Elio's quick lap is a little bit quicker, a minute 10.477 mark, so Elio rolls the bar a bit.
Dixon rolls into the 3rd spot right now. Conway the 4th, Hildebrand the 5th, and Tony Kanaan is P6. A minute 30 left in this session. Elio Castroneves a minute 10.4768. Then Hinch, Dixon, Conway, Hildebrand, and Tony Kanaan. So the differential as we watch Mike Conway passing in front of us, and now there's Elio Castroneves very likely
what might be their final laps. They should have an opportunity to get to the line and perhaps begin one last flyer, given where they are and what we've got less time-wise. There's the 14. There is the 9. Everyone on reds, it looks like, at this point, and that is anticipated. Elio Castroneves looking for pole after the win last week at St. Petersburg. He is off of turn number 6. Mark, we're under 1 minute remaining here in the Firestone Fast 6.
Looks like Tony Kanaan has rolled onto pit road, and maybe TK realizing, not much of an opportunity to get to P1, but Tony Kanaan is going to do no worse than 6th, Mike, and that's a great starting position for TK. We see Hinch rolling on the pit road too.
Yep, here comes James Hinchcliffe. Right now, Hinch is set to start on the outside of the front row, so Hinch right now set to start on the outside of the front row if all things remain the same. Elio Castroneves, who picked up his 26th career win just a week ago in St. Petersburg. Are we going to find him on the pole here for tomorrow's Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama? It looks like that could be the case. Mike Conway is returning to pit lane. Elio, just for safe measure mark, it looks like he's going to stay on for one more lap as he heads through the roller coaster of 1, 2, and 3.
How about what could be a front row start for James Hinchcliffe? Climbing out of that number 27, go down to the machine on pit road, get the pats in the back from his group. Scott Dixon third, Mike Conway fourth, J.R. Hildebrand fifth, and Tony Kanaan sixth.
Okay, Scott Dixon is on his final flyer. Elio Castroneves, the same is true. Dixon have anything for Elio Castroneves on this final lap. Dixon is going to need to find mark somewhere in the neighborhood of 5/10, maybe 5/100 of a second, because Dixon right now sits third at a minute 10.5291. Castroneves at a minute 10.4768, and it looks like Dixon has spun the car, and that will end the lap, and that should end the session. And it looks like Elio Castroneves will follow up last weekend's win at St. Pete, Mark, with a pole position here at Barber Motorsports.
How lucky was he that that spin happened when and where it did and did not bring out the red?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. He's right here in Charlotte's Web. In turn number 5, the checkered flag had already come out, so he will not lose any lap time. So Scott Dixon, here's the replay for those of you here on the grounds, and there it is as he was driving it hard through 5, and the rear end just stepped out on him, and he comes to a stop. So Scott Dixon comes up just short. Elio Castroneves will be on pole with Chevy Power, representing Team Penske on the outside of the front row. Chevy Power as well. James Hinchcliffe driving for Andretti Autosport. His best career IZOD IndyCar Series start. Scott Dixon and Mike Conway will go on in row number 2. J.R. Hildebrand and Tony Kanaan set to start in row number 3.